are you using?
This is Streamlabs. So we are live on the Dope and Tape Show. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Whether you're watching us live or you're watching the replay, we appreciate you every time. We have
Thank you
tonight
guys.
special guest Wayne from local 853, our brothers from the north in Ontario, Canada. Part of the executive board. There's a big guy up there, so we're happy to talk to him. We're also happy to read comments live. If you have any questions, we can ask them. I don't know, Wayne, if you want to tell us about how you got into the industry, we'll jump right into
Watching
it.
us live or you're watching the replay.
Yeah,
We
well,
appreciate you every
when I
time.
was getting out of high school,
We
my
have
uncle
tonight.
said if I wanted to be a plumber, to meet him at his house at 5:45. So I did, and I wasn't a plumber; it was sprinklers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So early mornings, and just get her done. And then got into the union, and away I went.
That's great. So you originally what? It started. You weren't new union right away.
No, no, that job wasn't, and then we got into the union, and worked my way up to a service truck. So by the time I was a fitter, I had a service truck, and you're kind of your own boss, and away you go, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the
Yeah,
dream.
absolutely.
BC the Spring. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining.
How was your experience as an apprentice, Wayne?
I had a really good experience. I had quite a few good mentors, and a lot of people that very passionate about the industry, um, and did a lot of cool jobs. Like doing 6-inch screwed and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, jeez.
Don't want to get into, but it was awesome doing it.
6-inch screwed. What year was that, Wayne?
And I was in the '90s, dude.
Wow, that's
6-inch screw. That's back when there was men, right?
my
Yeah,
God.
exactly,
What
right?
what size pipe
What's
Exactly.
the
wrench?
what's the
Oh
cowboy
no,
hat?
you're doing super sixes and eights and stuff like that. And the buddy
Oh
was
man,
realistically, he was just cutting off the '90s. He was awesome. Barry Ray, I'll give him a shout out.
that's
Yeah,
Wow.
just one of my fitters that I was apprenticing under, and he was awesome. Very skilled man.
That's when the boys were men back then. I see all that big screwed pipe, and I'm like, man,
Jeez.
it's just
Yeah,
before
I
my
know.
time.
Well, I
Yeah.
tried to unscrew one of those for a 5-year internal inspection, and good luck.
Oh
I ended
yeah,
up, yeah, I ended up just taking a sawzall, cutting it off, and then air grooving it, and then put a coupling on there. I was like, I'm
I
not doing this.
put a 10-6, a 4-inch on a 3-foot aluminum wrench, and it just snapped the wrench.
I,
Jeez.
Yeah, it should have been a
With
steel
the
wrench.
with
It
the
was it wasn't a rigid wrench.
That's the
I
problem.
think it was a China wrench.
See, I was
Chain
at
wrenches.
Lowe's
BC the
earlier.
Spring says chain wrenches. Yep, as
I
big as
got
you
mad
go.
when I was at yeah,
I seen a
chain
video where they
wrenches.
put the vice bench. They put the chain vise on the 6-inch, and they use that as the wrench. They can spin the pipe around. You ever see that?
I saw that,
Dang.
yeah, on a video actually.
Yeah, I saw that online. So yeah, let's so we want to talk about the schools that we got and all these state of the art schools that are popping up and how, there's just like a movement for the sprinkler apprentices to learn. We have one here just below Boston that we put in, and it's much better than the one that we had. The one that we had was just kind of in the basement of the hall, and I think you guys got a cool school up there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just well, it opened during COVID, so a slow process. But we just hosted the apprentice training or a competition. Sorry,
Oh yeah,
for all across. Well, you guys were there as well, right?
yeah, I believe
Um,
so.
just awesome to see everybody get together and show the skills and want people to participate and do better. You know what I mean? Like the advancements in this trade is wow. You know,
Endless. So much
and
so much knowledge to just gain.
See, I'm
oh
not
yeah,
familiar with the competitions that y'all have in fire sprinkler and stuff because we don't have that in Atlanta
Yeah, I didn't have
at
it as
all.
an
We
apprentice
don't have
either, because
schools.
I
We
was
don't have
non-union as
competitions.
my apprenticeship, so it's great. Is it,
yeah.
they think
Through
about
through
it.
the UA.
So what is it? What is it based on? Like how fast I can thread pipe and
Well, they get all different trades too, right? All different pipe trades. So they get diagrams to build something, and then they got to make it, right? You know what I mean? Like it just
They include like groove couplings and threaded couplings, and you got to put 45s that meet a elbow that go
yeah,
up, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
all
Oh,
looks everything. And
Do
you
you
got to
start with
solder
you
pieces and
start?
all of it.
Wow.
yeah. Welding, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, so a lot of
And it's
stuff
just
that the apprentices aren't even really experiencing or
no
even doing, they have to, you know,
figure it out
perform.
on the
They have to
fly.
figure it out on this competition.
Yeah,
Wow.
So for us, you compete locally with your state, and then I believe you go to Vegas. And I think that if you win the Vegas one, then we would go to the one he's referring to.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
we just hosted it, right? It was they had I'm trying to see here now. If there's any good pictures I can show you. But yeah, like they're doing all like containers and stuff like that and putting suppression systems in the containers so you can just walk in and it's all there. And
Hmm.
our like the valve stations and all that are all built and it's all on wheels, right? So everything is just there and it can just connect. And then they got a big, huge tank and the fire pumps and all that stuff, right? So they get everything, you know, the jockeys, the whole 9 yards, right?
Hands on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome. We got to spread the word because one of the things that I always talk about is in a vocational school, and I don't know if this is the way it is up in Canada, but down here, a vocational school, you wouldn't have a sprinkler shop. You would
no,
have automotive and plumbing and carpentry and
Right.
electrical,
Right.
but there wouldn't
Yeah.
be a sprinkler shop.
no,
Or even a pipe fitter.
So most people don't know that it is an option.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Absolutely.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah,
if my father wasn't in it, I would have no idea. I went to go talk to a wrestling team, and they don't know what the heck I'm talking about. You know, oh, that's
yeah, I don't
cool.
know if you can see that. That's all like the rocks and stuff like that, right? They're all
Oh
built
yeah,
of
we
rock.
see that. That looks awesome. Oh, those are some
Yeah.
heavy duty racks.
Oh, dude, it's just
Look,
wicked.
they're on wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
Bobby, hey, that's cool.
BC the Sprink, local 853 is a solid union. My buddy Patrick works out there.
You know Patrick
Patrick.
Wayne?
What's up,
Yes,
Teague?
Oh wow.
yes. Yeah, he's one of the fellas that I figured would have been on to you guys. And if you haven't connected with him, I'll get him connecting with you because he'd be a colorful character to have on. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Patrick, I'm writing it down. I want to get Patrick on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reach out, Sprink. Chris, see
yeah.
what you
So
can
There you
say.
go.
If you can get a
A
hold of him.
A Higgins 18. He's my apprentice. He's also my sister's boyfriend. He's in the chat tonight. What's up, Alex?
I don't see
I want to
him.
have him on. He's right on the BC.
Hmm,
I can't.
it's not popping up for me. Patrick will get
What's
on
up?
soon. He's
What's up,
busy
Boone?
lately.
Yeah.
I
So,
can't see what's
what'd you
going
guys
on.
have on the agenda today? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I was at a factory where they make bearings. It was not a safe inspection. We had to get on racks. We had to tie off to a lot of high areas underneath where they forge and melt down the bearings and the metals. And 3 years ago, a fire sprinkler guy doing an inspection, he fell and he died. So it was very nerve wracking, you know. And I had my apprentice, and then in the earlier in the day before we had our conversation, he was kind of like doing his own thing and over here and over there, not really like staying close to me, and it became a safety hazard. So we really had to have a conversation. After the conversation, he stayed close and he listened and he was kind of following my directions. But yeah, man, it was a long day. It was 12 hours.
12-hour
Yeah,
inspection day?
yeah, and then I had a 4-inch star valve that um that I could not reset, so I had to leave that red tagged.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I tried twice, and then it was even on shop air, so it aired up really fast. It was just I couldn't. I couldn't get it to reset. I even second time I got a fire sprinkler hose with a fire nozzle, and I just sprayed the crap out of it. I got some steel wool, cleaned it. I mean, it was
Wooden seat.
pretty, and I just no one seat. I even got I put like some water in there through the cup, and
You
I
weren't
couldn't
gonna
do it.
toilet paper it,
No,
huh?
maybe maybe some ice. You know,
May
throw
or
some
may
ice
not
in
have
there.
toilet papered a couple of dry valves in my day. It works, you know.
Never done
My
it.
shutdown got canceled today. They led me on until like it was 8 a.m. You know, we usually a 6 o'clock start, so we're sitting around for 2 hours waiting for a shutdown, and then they're like, it doesn't get confirmed that it's canceled until about after coffee. It's like 9:30. So then you gotta, you know, they usually will pay. I hit them with a slip for kind of just like wasting my time, but
Yeah. So earlier in the year, I was in accounts management as well as acquisitions, and one of the big brand new high rises in Atlanta is my account. So we did the inspection there. Tomorrow I got 8 hours on 5 heads. So tomorrow's gonna be a nice easy day.
what are you just changing them out?
I'm just swapping them
Oh,
in the fire pump
are they
room.
painted? Oh,
Yeah, there's five. I guess they are painted in the fire pump room, and I'm just swapping them.
oh, that's a
That's
nice
it,
easy
man.
room to be in too, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
everything
Who
right
cares?
there, ready to go.
Uh-huh. Boom. And I don't have to worry about water. I'm just gonna dump it, and it's
Nice.
gonna be
Yeah,
an
there,
easy day.
You
There's
deserve
a
that after this
Starbucks
long
right
day.
there. Yeah, I know. I'll be at Starbucks for 4 hours after I get done with this.
yeah,
Higgins, what up? Thanks for joining. Oh, I see him now.
What's up, Higgins? Yeah, he's a
yeah. I
good guy.
can't see the comments, and I don't want to use my phone to watch them because then it's all both of it,
Oh,
everybody talking. So
yeah, yeah. Well, Higgins, he's a good person to weigh in on this. But I brought up that I had trouble with my apprentice today, and we had some serious conversations. And it was just like he was doing his own thing, and it was either slowing us way down, or he was like trying to take control, but act like he doesn't know what he's doing at the same time. And it was just, and especially in that kind of uh, atmosphere, it was not good. Um, but what I like to do is I kind of let them follow me, right? And then when we get to a situation, like example, like a drive out, I ask them, how do you approach this? Okay, what if you do this? What if you do that? Or if we're doing pipe fitting, right? Okay, how would you approach fixing this? And then I kind of make them think of things
Well,
and
yeah,
then
I do the same thing.
steer
Get a
them.
little answer out of them.
Yeah, yeah. Evolve, involve them in everything. Alex, would you say that I did that with you? Um, I'm interested to see what Alex says. What is like being an apprentice with me versus someone else because
They'll
I'm no longer
remember the
with him.
moment more if you know, put them on the spot rather than just tell them this is this and
yeah,
this is that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Engage them. But I think you evolve too as a fitter teaching an apprentice too, right? Like, you know what I mean? And some of them just can't be taught. All right.
yeah,
And some guys just aren't good teachers.
yeah.
Well, there's
That's
Yeah.
very
that,
true.
right?
A lot of guys, you don't
There's
sign up
that.
to be a teacher. You sign up to hang
Oh,
pipe and be a sprinkler
yeah,
fitter, but you know, it's really up to you to make sure you got a good apprentice. Hopefully you got your back someday and, you know, can perform
Yeah,
well.
well, if
yeah.
that guy's on the truck with you, you better be a good fella, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll have
Hey,
a lot of long days if you don't.
Yeah,
you see
man.
Chris, Brian? He's gonna call you tomorrow about a pump question.
All right, cool. Yeah, call me.
Yeah, I like to show like even if and you got to gauge the apprentice too by what year they're on and what they've experienced and sometimes you might
Absolutely.
get a third or fourth year, but maybe they've been doing the same thing for 3 years straight. You can't
Rock.
Yeah,
expect them to
yeah,
be up to speed if they're still it's their first time. Oh, you're a third year, but they've never seen it. Then you know
yeah. I
you have
would
to
say
teach them.
after about like I want to say like 3 months with Alex. Now we were doing inspections. I would just like you go. I'm right behind you. You're doing all this. And I'm just gonna watch you. You know.
Correct them if he makes a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it,
yeah.
right? Exactly.
That's it.
You guys have linseed oil and cement? I heard you guys talking about dope and all that the other day, and
Oh,
You ever heard of that stuff?
that's a question.
Yeah.
Linseed, I haven't heard of that. No.
No, neither have
Oh,
I.
you mix those two together and it turns green, and it is the nastiest stuff ever. It's like a
What?
yeah, dude, and it don't come out.
Fuck the next guy. So, what's your preference? Dope and tape, tape and dope, one the other?
You know what? The last company I was working for there was dope and then tape. You know,
Okay,
it's
company
cleaner
thing.
that way.
It's
But
cleaner. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But if you're gonna have an apprentice like laying all this stuff out for you and everything else like that, you're kind of wasting your time. You do both, right? Because if
Yeah.
it's not fresh, it's that tape is done. It's
Yeah.
absorbed all the rope and but
Yeah, that's true. Do you do you dope heads? Like if you were like swapping the heads that I'm
tape
doing tomorrow.
tape heads,
Yeah,
tape
see, I
all
only
brass.
tape.
Only
You see
tape,
that,
huh?
Bobby? You
Nope.
see
Yeah,
that, Bobby?
yeah. No, you're doing both, are you? Woo.
I put dope and tape on every thread,
Okay. All right.
every and
Yeah.
all threads, except again, maybe not hose connections or, and I don't put them on the threads of a union, but I'll put dope on the face of a union.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
But that's it is brass. Like you snug that up.
I just like
You're
that
gonna
metal to
reuse it.
metal
You're
just
gonna
always
reuse it.
eggs me out. Metal to metal, there's nothing there, so I just put a little dope right on the face of the union where they meet. Makes me feel
That
better.
stuff doesn't leak ever.
Huh?
Bobby's never your fittings never leak.
Never leak.
Yeah.
I went down with my bucket of tools as the jockey pump was jockeying up, and I just flipped the fire pump on, and I'm on my way. It caught,
Oh
nothing's leaking.
man, I had one of those pop on me one time, man.
What
It
is it?
was
A head?
no the fire pump panel.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
scared the
Oh, you
shit
had one
out.
explode. You had one blow up?
Oh, dude, yeah, it blew up, started smoking out of the thing and everything.
Let's hear
But I
about
was
What
that.
taught
happened?
always just stand away from it and put it up, right? Oh man, that got my
Boom.
heart going. I was freaked right out.
I bet.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been there. So
yeah.
you did it when you
I turned it
swapped?
on and it popped. It
Oh.
popped apart inside the fire pan the controller, and it like it started smoking instantly, and I froze. I'll
Yeah.
be honest. I was like started like I was like, what's gonna happen now, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
one big bang and the thing's smoking, and I was kind of paralyzed for a minute before I
I
was
don't
like,
blame you. That's crazy. That's what I was thinking about
Yeah.
this panel that I had to shut off. The thing's from like the 1960s or something. I'd never seen a
yeah,
panel like that. A fire pump controller.
I saw you do that. No, it's just it brought right back to memories, man. I was
Oh
like,
shit.
oh,
Like I just at that point I wanted to go home, but then like the DMs later, there was a couple people like, "Watch out, those are the ones that blow up."
yeah, but
Oh
I
man,
liked how it was in the pit though. That was cool, and you showed all that. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was
it's
cool.
like
You
That's how
so
you live.
quick. That's why you never stand in front of them. You always like come over to the side and like
boom,
flip
because
it
the door
up.
will
You
blow
know?
off. But the
The
my
Yeah.
door, yeah,
like,
that's, yeah.
so what about how we're always taught to like prop, you want to prop the fire pump door open, especially if it the fire pump room door, you want to prop it open if it opens in, or if whatever. I was underground, man. You're in a pit. You're in like a confined space with that fucking old pump, that old controller. There's no door to pin open.
No, no.
Did you
Yeah,
see
but
that
leave that
exhaust
door
leak?
open, you'll float to the top,
The
right?
what was it? Exhaust leak?
Yeah. So I posted I think it was on. I think I posted a reel of uh, the diesel engine that had an exhaust leak. And then in the fire pump room you had the levers for the exhaust, right? But there was no fan to push it out. So then we were just in there trying to like just get this done. But it was cycling. So if a diesel engine,
Trying to look right
even if
now.
even so, if you how can I explain this better? So if a diesel engine is cycling, like you have your finger on the stop button on the controller, and this is cycling. It's cranking and stopping, cranking and stopping, cranking and stopping. Even if you think that you have all the valves shut, um, it's very sensitive. Typically, a diesel engine is very sensitive to any kind of water fluctuation. So it needs to be a static water. So you need to hold it, let the pump cycle, open the valves. So if you on your discharge side, you want to open that valve and then have all the water stagnant pressure, and then you'll be able to turn it off. Because
Really?
it can get in, yeah, because it can get intimidating. You think, man, the all the valves are off, right? And this pump is cycling, and they can't turn off. I'm like, what the, a lot of people are like, what the crap? What do I do? So, but it's very sensitive. Like electric pumps are not like that. You press the button, it's off.
Yep. Boop.
Yeah.
Oh man, the chat is popping off. What do we got? Chris Pipe. I have an 18-year-old apprentice and he's doing great so far. He's on his test on Wednesday. What test? He's got an apprentice test? 18
Is
years
it
old.
apprentice
That's the
test or
best. That's when they're
journeyman?
really spongy. Wish him luck. We wish Chris's apprentice great luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doom Bill taught me tape and then dope.
Taped and
Held
dope.
a message for reasoning. Ooh, auto mod. We held a message back for bullying. We'll allow a post in the chat. Oh,
What?
it's because
Who's bullying us? How dare they?
Chris dropped the R word.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. How do we turn that off?
It's probably
We're all
yeah.
sprinkler
We're
fitters
all
here. I'm
sprinkler
pretty
fit.
sure we
Oh,
we can figure
I can allow
we'll
it.
be
I can
okay.
allow the R word. Here it says. Um, let's see. He's got a VFD controller down in the Atlanta. Ran into my first one in Virginia today. VFD controllers. Got any VFD controllers down in Atlanta? I ran into my first one in VA today. VFD controllers. He's asking you if you've ever seen.
I've never seen a VFD. Is that the name of the company? Is this VFD?
VFD, yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of, all right, BC. Speaking of retard, another pump tip. So if you have a retard chamber and it will not seat, like it's still like leaking by and everything, um, leave it open, turn that pump on, and run it with that pressure. Typically, sometimes they'll push everything out of the check valve or the filters and all that,
Oh, you
and
think
then you
there's a
turn
bunch
the
of
pump
stuff
off. It
stuck in
should be
there?
fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then typically it's fine. There's a lot of times. So, like for example, if any of y'all are doing inspections, sometimes you'll do the inspection without the pump on, so you're running it at city pressure, and that retard chamber, the water motor gong, is not used to that. So it would leak by, and then but before you fail that, you need to run it with the pump on.
That's a good tip. Tips and
Yeah,
tricks by Bry.
right.
You guys have exhausters down there?
For dry systems?
Exhausters.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Do we call them
What is
exhausters? I
that?
think we're calling them
Is that like a dry air pack?
it's like an
Well,
it's like an
at the
it's like an
end.
accelerator.
Yeah, at the end of the system
It
to
help
exhaust, like just to get the air out.
it helps the air come out quicker
Okay.
if it's not if it, usually you put it in a big system if you can't get the air out in time to get water to the end type deal. Is that what it
I
is?
never.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never.
yeah. I was just gonna say, if you ever come across that on a service call and you gotta take your time, clean it all up, make it all nice and pretty in there, and figure out where the air comes, like, and just turn it on a bit. Go grab yourself a coffee and come back to it. They're so sensitive, dude. Like you put the air on and they'll just pop, and then you got to start all over again, right? So you got to make sure it's all nice and clean inside, and then just put the air on ever so lightly and walk away. Yeah, learn the hard way
A
sometimes.
finicky exhauster.
Yeah. Oh, and because they're at the end of the system, you know all the good stuff that's inside the dry systems.
It all gets pushed there. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just nasty.
So speaking of systems, when you air after you get done draining up, and then you're putting water back on it, do y'all do anything special to relieve the air? Like are you always opening up the inspection test
Yes.
in order to get all the air out and letting it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because like I heard Bobby say there the other day, like get the air out because you're coming back for a service call, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta get it out.
yeah.
I'll just
So
go
if you don't, if you
drain it from a
so
drum
if you
drip.
So if it's a wet system and you cannot locate the inspector's test, do you just leave the drain open and kind of like punctuate it? How do you get that air out?
What are you saying when I go to fill a wet system?
You
Yeah,
can't
and
find
you
anywhere to drain the air.
yeah
So
on the
if
opposite side.
so typically in my experience, I'm always like on a dual fed system, and I can always push it out that other side. But I have no problem just dumping water into it and having air pockets at the end. I'm
If
a
you
firm
have to,
believer it
yeah.
kind of just all settles in there, and if it's like a
Eventually,
huge system, then you might get like a fault, like a bubble move, and then you get a false trip, but that's so rare.
Well, I would think at a big system you would have an inspection test somewhere, but
Yeah,
sometimes you can't find it. Like today, there was a factory because I'm doing 5 year internals. So like I was taking branch lines out and not the whole thing.
checking it out.
Uh, yeah. But when I would fill it up, some of them I couldn't find inspector's tests, and I was like, "We're gonna run the main drain for a while, and then hopefully just do the best we can."
Well, a lot of times you get the new riser, the zone controls that come, and the test and drain is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So people aren't going to put an inspector's test on that system because you have it right there to test your
No,
flow.
right, exactly.
So you just
but
You're
gotta
gonna have
you
fun.
guys still have the excess pressure pumps on your wets, right?
say again.
Or excess pressure pump, or do you guys have? I heard you say retard chambers. Is that what stops you from having false alarms? Is a retard chamber?
Yeah, it
So a
helps
retard, yeah, small amount, I would think, um, but I don't think it's gonna. So a retard chamber. By the way, I guess there was a lawsuit or some. I forgot. They are no longer calling them retard chambers. They are changing those. So
Mhm.
we're not.
because of the R word.
Yep, yep. So retard chamber is no longer
I have a couple of them, and it still says it
acceptable.
on there.
Yeah,
Yep. Don't be offended. It's an actual thing that's in a sprinkler system.
It is.
but it's
It is. We're sorry.
Trick
but
question. Retard
yeah,
chambers need to be removed per code.
no,
Coming in by Chris. I don't know.
no, no. They're
It's
still
he's in
used
BC,
widely.
Canada, right?
Right to, huh?
Uh, where's BC?
No, he's in Virginia, or
Is it?
Virginia?
I think so. Virginia? Where you at, Chris? No,
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 I
he's
know
in
what they're.
Vegas. I think he's in Vegas.
Okay, they are taking out hose cabinets and hoses
Test to
like
get in
all
the
over
advanced
Atlanta.
apprenticeship program. Oh, he's gonna
Yeah,
get in the
BC's in
advanced
Vegas.
apprenticeship program. Well, that's cool.
So how does this go? So you have apprentice, you have advanced apprentice, you have journeyman, then what?
So you're in a step program. The way that it works for us, and every 6 months you advance a step and you get a little raise and you gain a little knowledge, but it really just you go by year. Like you would consider them a first year, a second year, a third year, a fourth year. After your fourth year, you actually get your journeyman card, and you're a journeyman in Massachusetts where I am, and then you'll have to do another 2,000 hours with the local. You'll be getting paid like 95% of a fitter, but you're still
Hmm.
considered like an apprentice for that fifth year.
For the fifth
So
year, yeah.
That's similar
yeah,
up to
okay.
yeah, it's like that's a UA
Yeah,
thing, right?
they do basic, intermediate, and advanced schooling.
So with that, does your dues go up as well as you progress?
No, dues are a flat thing for us.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the apprentice. Yeah, you got to pay the dues from the start.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe I'm not sure if it's still, but I think well, when I started, we had to pay an initiation fee
Oh wow.
Wow.
to get
Okay.
in. Yeah, yeah, at the beginning. But I mean, for the amount of dues you pay to be in the union, I know our healthcare and everything is different from you guys down there, but all the benefits you get for being a union pipe fitter is just incredible. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
The retirement
Now,
alone. The retirement alone will push a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
there has been some changes in schooling here in Georgia, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to get on a huge rant about it, but I'm not happy with it. When I first started, so we had when I first started, yeah, we had 7 tests. So you had to go in and take 7 tests: 2 for level 1, 3 for level 2, and then 2 for level 3 for NFPA 25 for inspection license. And then so it went from 7, then it went to 2, right? And then within your after 6 months, you can get your waiver. So you get your level 1, you get your waiver, then you can do inspection. And then they changed it from 7 tests to only 3. This has been within the last 4 years. And then now there's no more waiver. This is as a new state law of this year. Um, there is no more waiver. You have to have a level 2 in hand. So level 2 basically takes 2 years, right? And then you get your state license at level 2, no longer needing the level 3. So it's just, and then I heard, now I don't know if this is true. I heard this this week from an apprentice. He said that you can go to a school, which the state law makes it where you no longer have to go through NICET. Is NICET's customer service and everything's terrible. You can go through the same school as what they have in Florida. I'm not sure of the name, but he said basically you go in there and do a couple of tests after a classroom, you pass it and get your level 2. So it's just, I don't know, they make it difficult and then they're trying to also give it away at the same time. It's just like, I think it needs to be difficult, you know?
Right. Yeah, it should be.
Is there union there as well, or just no?
If there is a union, I'm not aware of it. I think they're just private companies. If there are any of them that like are attached to a union, as in union laws, or everything that comes with the union, then I guess they are. But I haven't heard of one.
But they're still training you.
Uh, so you get attached to someone in the field, and how your training goes, the duration of your training is all up to however the company decides to. I mean, I could start today as an apprentice, be with a guy for 3 months, and then the company could put me in a truck.
Oh
So there's
wow.
no real, yeah,
I
there's no real true rules.
I think the Travelers local kind of controls Atlanta. The local 669.
669. Yeah,
669.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Like in
Yeah.
Boston, in the greater Boston area, all the unions are very strong. Not just the sprinkler
So
union. Every union in Boston is strong, and we
That's
have
true.
the contractors are really only hiring. They're only hiring us on a lot of these jobs within 30-mile radius of Boston. Not to say that there's
I guess
not
I need to.
non-union in there, but it's just because the union is so strong, the contractors just try to keep it cordial. I think is how it is.
Yeah, I need to find someone at the 669 and then get them on here and kind of tell me what's going on in Atlanta because I've been, I guess, out of that loop. And I've been in like 4
That's it.
companies and
669 is in
been
I'll
Atlanta.
work.
doing.
I'll
SNS is
work on
down
that
there.
too.
So Chris already knows. Chris is
I
gonna get us
appreciate that.
someone from
Oh, there you
669 on the
go.
show.
There you go.
669 in Atlanta. SNS is down there. You hear SNS sprinkler?
Yeah, yeah.
That's union. That's a
So
union sprinkler company
okay, cool.
There you go.
in Atlanta. Local 669. We're gonna get one of them guys on here. When we get really
That's
busy in
awesome.
Boston, we bring in travelers, they call it, and at 669 guys.
Do they get paid like traveling nurses? Because I might
They
think
pick
about
they
that.
pick up the local 550 rate. Yep,
Dang. All right, I'll do
which
that and
is
I'll
like
quit the club.
I don't know, it's
There
up
you
there.
go.
A lot of,
There you
put
go.
it this way, they love it. They love it. No one's complaining about it.
Yeah,
Heck
we work
yeah.
4 9s here, 36 hours. What about you guys?
What
Oh
it?
man, I've
Oh yeah, 36 hours.
36 hours
36.
per construction,
That's
right?
pretty cool. No,
Service
So I
truck, a
tell,
little different.
I'm still doing eights, 4/8s, and then now
yeah, so
I just
yeah,
wrote myself in for this Friday night thing and then this Sunday morning thing. So
I tell my company I don't care um what they do with me during the week, but I get 40 at least. And then I tell them any late night service call, any emergency call, they are welcome to call me at any time. I just every other Friday I'm gonna be with my boys. And then if I work at the club at night, obviously
right.
I'm not drinking or anything. I'm working, but I'm still employed by them and have responsibilities.
So the 36 hours is that what does that do for like? That doesn't do anything for your health care or any. You can still get all that stuff. All the benefits are still full.
Yeah, all the benefits are all full, everything's full, and you pay your benefit package is 32 hours to pay what we have to pay into it to get the services.
Huh.
Um, you get your pension, all that stuff, and then anything else above and beyond that is double time.
Hour 37's double time?
Hour 37 is double time.
Oh, you prick.
Hour,
That's cool.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
we're gonna have
Well,
to
feel
you know,
like
implement
it all
that.
started with people should have time with their families, right? You know what I mean? Like, and that's
Yep.
why overtime started because, you know, if it was up to the employers, for most of the time, you'd be working at least 6, if not 7 days a week, right?
yeah, uh-huh.
So, you
Four
know,
nines, baby.
yeah,
4 9.
36. Here we go.
Can we do four
I
nines?
I
Can we
like
do
that a
four
lot.
nines but still get 40 in the check though? No.
Yeah.
36. I need that. A lot of people are liking that. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I like that. I would love that.
So I did
yeah,
have
for
someone
sure.
reach out and they asked me if we could talk about freezing pipes, which I've done a few times. So you get this liquid nitrogen. We go in, particularly like on a feed main. If you're gonna drain something that is going to drain a majority of the hospital. You just can't do that. Or any building, for instance. Just like you can't drain consecutive floors, you can't just like take down a whole standpipe. That's so
Yeah,
what we would do is we would implement the freeze. There's no isolation. So you get these guys it's a special company. I'm not the freeze guy. You hire a special freeze company and someone picks that tab up and it's usually not me. Um, I'm doing a shutdown for you in your building, and you're required to shut it off. And that's usually how this building operates. I don't spin the valves. So if there's no valve, then they pay for a freeze. And the guys will come and we'll do it like a week ahead of time. They'll drop off all the liquid nitrogen, these big canisters on wheels,
nice.
and they get this like if you're doing 8 inch, it's basically like a 12-inch sleeve kind of cut in half, and they put it over and they clamp it together and they stuff it with plumber's putty all around the cracks, some kind of substance like plumber's putty, and they just inject the liquid nitrogen directly into this sleeve that's around. It's like 2 feet long, and wherever they want to put it. And in this circumstance, we were on like an 8 footer with elbows on each side, which I was nervous about because again,
Right.
at this was my first time freezing during the situation I'm talking about, and it fucking breaks, doesn't it? You freeze pipe, it breaks. That's was always my experience. So when they mentioned this I'm in a big time meeting with project managers and all kinds of important people, and they're like, all right, well, we'll just freeze it. And I'm like, freeze it? This is an 8-inch sprinkler main with 205 psi. You're not just gonna freeze it. They're like, oh yeah, they I just had never heard of it before, and this particular line was where all the hose valves were off of, so it just yeah, you had to take the whole thing down. So we went to where we were, and you just the freeze guy after a few hours. I think it took him about 4 hours. It goes to like negative 200 degrees, and he
And what are
just
you doing it? What's the purpose?
um. So for this, there was an 8-inch feed main in this portion where we were doing an emergency room renovation, and this 8-inch feed main was just low, and it was in the way of everything. Um, Especially because of COVID, and now there's all this new things in the hospitals where you have to have 2 or 3. Maybe we can get a duct guy on here to talk about it, but the duct work systems changed recently. Like they have to add so much more air. If you're in a hospital setting or a procedure room, each room has to have its individual VAV. In the, if this guy's sneezing in this room, the sneeze isn't coming out of this guy's vent type thing. So they
That's
had
because
to
of
add
COVID, I guess,
they had
right?
to add a lot of
Mhm.
duct work, and this 8-inch main was in their way. So they came in, they said, "Can you move it?" And I just said, "Yeah, sure." So we had to move it in 3 locations. I worked on this for weeks. You would put an elbow next to an existing elbow that I was going to turn, and I would run a big portion of new 8-inch, cap it off, test it, get it signed off. I'd have to tie it in here, and tie it into this standpipe. And then we did that 3 times. So I froze it here, and there was a dry system way down at the end. The freeze guy just looks at you and says, "Yeah, you should be good. Should
Should I
should
love that word
you should be
should.
good."
Oh
So
yeah, you should
I
be
went
fine.
downstream to the dry valve, and I just opened the drain, and we just watched the gauge, and the gauge just dropped, and eventually the water stopped. And then we were all just there at that coupling, man, and we took the coupling off, and You're looking inside at ice, and I know that there's 200. Actually, there was an elbow I was looking at, but you could see it was like a scary movie, like smoke coming out of it. And I knew there was just 205 on the other side of it, and we slapped a butterfly, we slapped a check valve, a flow switch, and one of the big, most important things on it is that we tapped a mechanical T on the ice plug side of the butterfly. With the butterfly closed, then we introduced water to this mechanical T, which had a 2-inch globe valve that we put on, and I put 205 in there so that ice plug wouldn't move. Because as soon as you get everything together and the freeze guy says, "All right, you're okay," then he just starts taking his thing off. That thing's still plugged for like 2 hours, and you can just see it, like it's just so cold. It's like dripping. Uh, it's such a crazy experience. And then
That's so
if you
sketchy.
didn't have matching pressure on the end, it would just be a bullet, and it would just take that elbow off.
Oh
Just
yeah,
come
yeah,
out
yeah.
like a BB gun.
And then so
Man.
then after that whole process, we had 20 guys on a Sunday, and I think I spent 18 hours on site that day from like midnight. I got there at midnight to meet the freeze guys and move a hangar, and we were there. I was there till like that following night. And once we filled the whole thing up, one of my tie-in pieces was an 8-inch T. I had everything capped. Everything was tested, hydro tested. I tested it all to, I think I went to 275. I was going to go to 255. I wanted to go 50 pounds over what I was going to see. And I think we went a little bit above that. The only thing I couldn't test was that fucking T, and we put that 8-inch T in, and then we had to wait for the to jockey up and fill, and it had a sand hole. 8-inch Vic T with a fucking sand hole. And I
Pencil, right?
and at this and so we had already released half the crew. We had already been there for so long, so it was jockeying up. It was taking forever, and then luckily we had a guy that could get into the shop, and we had an 8-inch T at the shop that we could toss in. We had to redrain the whole thing, but this time it had a butterfly and a drain that we had just put in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was quite a day, and that was like my first freeze experience. And then after that, they just started booking them. We did like half a dozen.
That's still scaring me, man. I've seen the pipe split right down the center, from freezing.
Hmm.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. That's so scary.
Well, these guys
Oof.
say because it's only that 2 foot piece, it expands
Yeah,
this way both ways.
yeah, yeah.
Where if they were to freeze the whole thing, that's when it breaks. I don't know. It's definitely nerve wracking,
It's
especially in
so much
a hospital
pressure.
setting. Yeah, so much
Yeah.
pressure.
Now, I was not a part of this. Neither was it my company, but I had a friend who was overlooking this project. It was at a super high end um, hotel, and like really high end hotel here in Atlanta, and it has one of the highest rated restaurants in there as well. So you can imagine, right? Um, they were doing standpipe testing, and they were actually doing the correct standpipe testing with the fire pump. And they had a back-to-back 90 on one of the top floors, and
Uh
it
oh.
blew out, bro, blew out with the pump. I think it was a 6 or 8 inch main back-to-back 90. Boom,
Oh,
bro,
that's fucking
water
horrific.
just going straight down the elevator shafts and rooms and the staircase. But afterward, they got it done. The hotel was like, "All right, we're gonna get it cleaned up. When can y'all come back?" Like what? We need this
Wow.
done. Yeah,
Bet that coupling was just hanging on. The coupling wasn't on right, right?
man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it couldn't have been.
I don't think the coupling was on right. This,
I've seen some pretty scary stuff with couplings,
me too,
You
man.
see
Just
that
barely
bolt and,
on.
oh man.
I had a
Hey,
buddy.
Wayne, do you have some flood stories for us?
Throw back some Mick Ultras. Blowout
Yeah.
Bobby, 275. Goddamn. No blowouts, kid.
Blowout Bobby.
No
Blowout
blowouts, kid. It's rated
Yeah.
to
Well,
300.
I got a, I got a one with Walt Disney. Walt Disney took 2 floors up downtown Toronto, in the WSIB building, 29 and 30th floor, and they wanted to make sure that the mechanical room up above was sealed, right? Because if they had a leak up there, then once they start building their place, you know, they wanted to make sure it was sealed. So the guys thought that it would be a good idea to take two hoses from the standpipe and they just flood the floor. That would be proof that the mechanical room floor was leak proof.
Oh
Well,
shit.
needless to say, we were on the 29th floor and it just started raining, man. It was
Oh
coming
man.
everywhere,
So many.
everywhere. Because not only did they put all that water on the floor, the fire they left the fire pumps on, so they all kicked on. It was just a mass amount of water in a few seconds, like you guys know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much.
So everything's leaking everywhere. So like for a week and a half, they had people drilling holes and filling up the cracks and just trying to do all that, right? And this job was just go go go, and it was all like all hanging drywall down, but open above. So we had to put sprinklers above and then the sprinklers below, right? And
Yeah.
I'm saying to the guys, okay, well, we got all the sprinklers above. I'm going to leave this. And then when we tie it all in together, that'll be fine. We'll just leave all this, do all this work, had a 2-inch loop going around. And so, anyway, I'm yelling at this drywall guy, pissed off now. Don't put the drywall up, man. I got to do a tie in there. Don't put the drywall.
Yeah.
Anyway, I tell Buddy to go do the tie-in and everything else and going on. Okay, yeah, we're ready to fill. And this guy, the same, the maintenance crews, they come up and they do the valves, right? So Buddy opens the valve. You hear the water going, but I'm hearing this weird noise, right? I'm like, what the hell is that noise? And then all of a sudden I realize that they didn't put the piece of pipe in to tie the system in. They took the plug out, but because Buddy put the drywall in there, the piece of pipe was. And I'm going, and because the guy put the drywall there, the water hit the drywall and went this way. And I kind of got lucky because they were still cleaning up the mess from them upstairs in the
Oh
Uh,
shit, buddy. I love
all
that.
in the same
that,
place.
that sound, eh? That sounds like, oh, there's something wrong.
That
Something's
water
wrong.
sound, man, that will
Oh,
get you every time.
oh, too much
Man.
though.
Oh,
So I got one.
I got
I got a
chat. Hold
story.
on, I got a chat on YouTube. I see Sprinkler Kid on YouTube. Wow, that's crazy. I was wondering what would happen when the ice melts. That's cool. Sorry, I never seen
It's all right.
chats on YouTube yet. What up,
So I was
Sprinkler
an
Kid?
apprentice. I was at a apprentice, and I'm walking into a stairwell, and there's like three other crews there. This is when I very first started, like of age started, because I did it before, but it was like under the table because I wasn't 18. Um, and I go into a stairwell, and then one of the foremans are like, he's like unscrewing a cap on a standpipe. I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "It's a wet standpipe." No, no, it's dry. But right behind it, where he's pulling it, is a freaking gauge. Reading like 150. I was like, "This is the gauge." He's like, "No, no, it's broke. This is a dry." Bro, right in front of me. I'm below him, right below, and he's unscrewing it. Right, boom, water just starts flooding the stairwell. I'm soaking wet. I almost fell. Like I'm holding on to the railing. I'm like, just shut it off, shut it off. Just
It's
Wow.
well, I think sometimes you just kind of get in a routine, and of course we all know that being in a routine is dangerous, but I don't think he thought about it. He was like,
it was
all right, I'll
somewhere
do this.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see that white foamy water, you you go
you
Micro
might want to
bubbles.
stop.
If it's fucking tight, if the sprinkler head doesn't wiggle,
yeah,
even if it's in a few threads, it should wiggle. It should
yeah.
wiggle, And in a situation where maybe you have a lot of trapped water, it wouldn't wiggle as good, but I can tell if it's live every time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Just
yeah. All of a
take it
sudden
off
that
slow.
happens valve on you.
I got a OSHA is the
Yeah.
safe story. Back when I had just got my journeyman and I had my 18 or 19-year-old apprentice that we became buddies. We're still very good buddies. He had just got an iPhone. iPhones were kind of just getting big, and he had just got one. He was like texting all the girls all the time. We were up working on a boom lift, and of course I'm doing. If he's on the phone, I'm doing all the work, right? No, so and nobody try this. I unclipped him and I clipped him onto the sprinkler line. And I slowly started to take the boom down, right? And he's like, hold on, hold on, hold on. And, and I was like, no, I'm not holding on. Get off your fucking phone. So I know I went down. So his feet were like 4 feet off the basket. I was like, are you done texting? You gonna help me today? And he's like, just fucking, and the foreman caught me. I was just a journeyman at the time, and luckily the foreman's down there. I was like, oh shit, I thought I was in big trouble. The foreman's like, hold on, let me get a picture. This is awesome. It was little Bobby just hanging there. I tormented that poor guy. Shout out to
No, I've
little
never
Bobby.
heard of that. That's awesome.
And yeah, it was good. That don't
But the ones
nobody.
you care the most about is the ones you torment the most, right?
Oh yeah, I put him through it all. He was like my first. I just got my journeyman, and they were like, "Here's a brand new apprentice," and I'm like, "Oh, this poor bastard." So I would tell him, I got him do this multiple times. Sorry, little Bobby. Um, with the extension cord, 100-foot extension cord, like in cold weather. I always did, and I was honest when I said this, that I was always, when I was an apprentice, I would stretch it out. I would like tie it to a stud, and I'd go 100 feet away, and I would yank it, and I would wiggle it around, and then I would roll it up. It rolls up much nicer. But with a young dumb apprentice, I would tell him, go down there and pull. And so I would have my end, and he would have his end. I'd like, come on, pull it harder, and then I'd just fucking let go.
Nice.
And the poor bastard would fall right on his ass, and yeah, he fell for that like 3 fucking times.
Yeah,
You
you
gonna let
gotta
it go? I'm like, no, I won't let it go, dude. We really just gotta stretch it. I promise. And I would just fucking let it go.
you gotta be prepared for everything,
He
right?
came from McDonald's, so this was like his first year. I put him through everything.
I loved sending my apprentices to a wrong size pipe wrench. Like, oh, go get me a 19. It has to be the 19.
Yeah, the 19. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I could keep going on about little Bobby. He's gonna kill me, but I
Uh,
had him looking for hours for the rod stretcher when he fucked up one of my rods. He cut the rod short. I told him he was gonna get fired if he was wasting rod and go get the rod stretcher. And he went and got the foreman, and I thought it was gonna be a quick thing. And the foreman's like, "Nah, I gave it to another guy. I'll bring it in tomorrow." And he sent him back. He's like,
yeah.
"Just cut a new rod. He'll be fine." It's like, and the joke like didn't end that day. So it was like, I'm
Nice.
like, "Fuck, this kid still thinks there's a rod stretcher."
So you were saying the other night there about the apprentice going to sleep in the truck and all that, and getting them to
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound better for you, right? So one of my apprentices, one of the best ones I had, right? He's like, he's falling asleep in the seat, and we're driving back, and I'm pulling up beside this tractor trailer, and I thought, you know what? So I get over nice and close to it, and I go, and he opens his eyes, and all he sees is the truck. Eh?
Oh shit, it's fucking
Oh
great.
yeah, you gotta have fun with him.
You gotta have fun with them. And
Yeah,
and and
Yeah.
and if you're an apprentice out there, and this is what
yeah,
I was always told, it's like it doesn't matter what they're saying to you. They could be saying very mean things, but if they're talking to you, they like you. And if they're
that's right.
fucking with
Yeah.
you, they definitely like you.
Definitely like
And
Yeah.
if you have someone that's not talking to you, that's probably means they don't like you. So if they're fucking with you, just go with it. Fuck with them back a
yeah,
little bit.
that's it.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, I don't know if you're still on here. Did I do anything to you that you could remember?
I got a pipe stretcher.
I got a pipe stretch.
The
There
sky
you
hook.
go.
The sky hook's real though. Like you could really do a sky hook. Pipe Queen. The Pipe
What's up,
Queen's
Pipe
on
Queen?
here. I think that's what we want to have on, right?
Yeah.
We want to have
Yeah, I think
anybody on that
Superficial's
wants
little.
to come on the show. We want to have you on. Just let us know.
Well, yeah, we're booked out a couple weeks,
We're
but you
booking
gotta let
up.
us know
We could squeeze you in next week, maybe someone if you wanted to. But oh yeah, we want the 669 guy from Atlanta. We want to talk to him.
for sure. I want to know what's going on.
No, Higgins said
Is
you didn't
that?
mess with him. Well, you better be ready, because we're gonna be. You gotta mess with him a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Now he's got now. He's got to be 3 feet always, right? 3 feet from you.
that's
right?
right.
Shadow. I want you to be my shadow.
Yeah,
We were
he
putting
kept
on
me from fighting a couple of guys.
what did I tell? I told one of the apprentices to in front of another journeyman. I said, "Oh yeah, so when we put these, we had a temp FTC we were putting on. I was telling him to dope the inside. It's like put the dope on the inside, because it was just one of them. It was 6-inch threads, 6-inch galvy threads coming out. They always suck. And then so once I told him to dope the inside of threads, I said, all right, now we're gonna put the Teflon on the inside of the threads too. So he's got the roll of Teflon. He's looking at it and he's like, okay. And the journeyman that was right there just starts he's trying to hold in the laugh so bad, but I think we gave it away. The apprentice was gonna try to Teflon the inside threads. Oh shit. Sorry, Jay.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so good. Yeah, that'll build character, that's for sure.
Oh, he's fucked up. He fucked up now,
Oh
bud. You
man.
shouldn't have said that, Higgins.
Yeah.
I'm down to be on the show. I have a few stories from guys out here in California. Chris Pipe, awesome. The thing that I've noticed here with Twitch and with Instagram, I'm more familiar than Instagram than any, but people aren't using the same name, so it fucks me up. So just DM me on Instagram. We'll get you on the show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what do you have going now? You got Facebook, Instagram.
Twitch,
We have them all. Whatever you
Facebook,
want, we'll
Instagram,
keep them
Twitch,
going.
TikTok, Instagram,
Oh,
Facebook.
We just did a TikTok. I've been reluctant to do TikTok because of the Chinese, but I'm on there. And I did my first video, and it has 700,000 views right now. I'm shitting my pants.
nice.
That's crazy.
Sauce?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
That's
views.
awesome.
Where are they coming from? Are they fake?
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
have to be
I
fake.
feel like anytime an American watches it, they do 20 views. One view
Yeah.
equals 20 or I don't know. That's a lot of views. And like in a 1 day time, but we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, YouTube. The show streams live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I only thought you could comment on Twitch, but apparently I can read comments on YouTube as well. We
Nice.
also have a Discord, which has been pretty cool. Discord
Yeah, the
chat.
Discord is
It's almost like a
amazing. Yeah.
forum. You can go in there and ask questions. You can go in there and fuck around. You can send us pictures of Teague, whatever you want to do. It's fun. It's fun in the Discord, and I'm always getting notifications about it. I can't even keep up with the thing.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then we will be on LinkedIn soon. I think we're gonna do the approach on LinkedIn is just I think clips of the show. Like if we say some tips or something like that, and just kind of keep it, you know, neutral on LinkedIn, but nothing crazy.
And we're gonna also have everything on all your streaming platforms. That's in the works as far as
Hmm.
like Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah,
Stitcher. There's 15 apps that we're going to be able to upload to from these videos. I'm still figuring it out. I'm a sprinkler fitter.
No,
I'm not a tech
that's
guy, you know.
awesome.
yeah,
So I think like
Good for you.
every few days we get one more platform, and this is pretty cool being able to have this live. And
yeah.
again, we
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. We appreciate everyone coming on, everyone commenting and joining us right now. This is pretty cool. Fuck
I mean,
around Discord.
I bought my first laptop because of this.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like I got a
That's
pipe
awesome.
wrench. What do I need that for?
Yeah, and
Making
then
a community.
what do
That's
we? And
awesome.
then tomorrow we got Big Kev tomorrow. I don't know. Shout out Big Kev's watching. He's
Yeah,
fitter
he's a
from
pump guy.
fitter from Connecticut. Specializes in pumps, and he's starting his own gig, right?
Yeah, he's fixing to start his own company. He's really excited, and we're here to support him, and we're excited for him. You know,
Wednesday we got Curtis from Victaulic, which is
which I still haven't gotten a big tall shirt or
it's
hoodie
pretty
or
cool.
hat, man.
Well,
What am I
after
supposed to wear?
like he's gonna show. He says he's got some stuff to show us.
That's cool.
He's got some new stuff, Victaulic stuff to show us. So that's cool.
That's
We'll
cool.
let him send a shirt next time.
Yeah.
Did you make that hat, Bobby?
I got this hat from Sprinkler Life, the Instagram page.
Okay.
Um, shout out to Sprinkler Life.
There, there you
Always
Yeah.
go.
we're always supporting. He's a great supporter of the sprinkler industry. You can always shout out Sprinkler Life. He's got a website type deal. You can get apparel, stickers. I'm always
I
buying his
follow him on
stickers.
Instagram.
Yeah, so go onto his site and he's got all kinds of hats, stickers. I got like he's got the OnlyFans stickers that are set up like what's it say? Only Fitters. Shout out to Sprinkler
Yeah.
Life.
I need
Maybe
to
you can
put that on my
send me
truck.
some sprinklers for some
Yeah,
stickers
hey,
for putting
man.
you on the show. Only Fitters,
Nice.
hanging and banging. My favorite. This is my favorite sticker. I like these ones.
Yeah, there you go.
So like if when I do a big
Where is
job
he
and
from?
what's this?
Where's he from?
I think he's in
I don't
Canada.
know.
He's a mystery.
I
He's a
thought so.
mystery man. We tried to get him on the show. He likes. I
He's
think he likes to stay
he
a little
says
bit
he's
private.
too. Yeah.
It's all cool.
Black water scent?
Yeah, the thick stuff, right?
The thick stuff, yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
like
I
I
started
love
college
stickers.
and I
Yeah, that
ruined my
Thick.
shirt. It got the thick stuff
the
on it.
thick
I was
stuff.
like, oh,
Oh shit.
you know, water's
You know it's a
bad when it's
sprinkler fitter when yeah, the water's bad when you're calling it thick. Actually, I gotta find out if
Oh
my
man,
wife
it's
was able to
awesome.
save that shirt. I'm gonna get back to you guys.
The
Um,
thick stuff.
got
There
the
you
dirty
go.
water, clean money for the truck. I have the whole collection of stickers from
Right.
him. Yeah, that's the thing, man. He really he started the movement. He started the movement on Instagram
He
really
really
for
did.
sprinklers. Um, I was always posting shit, but really just like to my friends and my family, I just kind of jamming it down their throat, and they're like, they don't watch sprinklers, they don't know about sprinklers, you know. So it was cool to finally see a sprinkler page, and he's sharing everything. So I think
Yeah, you do
ultimately
good videos, man.
it
You both
linked
do
it
good
linked me
videos.
up with you guys. It linked me up with Brian. It linked me up with a lot of
Yeah,
people. It's a good thing.
yeah,
Let's keep that movement going.
yeah. We're really excited. I really think that fire protection is amazing. Like I think it. I mean, we're recession proof. We're COVID proof. Obviously, we had to keep working. We don't have to have that pressure, that concern as if we're going to work. You
Mm.
know, and I think that's great. And I think that this trade is incredible. I know it's been incredible for me, my father, and I
My
just want to
father, my
share it. Yeah,
grandfather, my third generation here, so it's a great industry.
I just want to share it. We're so small. I know we're really new industry, but we need to all work together and share awareness. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
First line of
Yeah,
defense.
share the awareness. Show what you're working on because we're not all
That's
working on
it.
the same stuff. Everyone's doing different shit. I
yeah,
want to see it.
Mm.
Sprinkler life, baby. You guys gonna make this industry
that's right.
even bigger. Yeah, let's grow it for real.
Well, thank you, thank
BC
you.
the Sprink is getting a lot of I don't know why that's on here. We're gonna get rid of that, but apparently you can't say mofos. Let me see. I'll allow it. I'll allow it this time, Chris. Why? Let me see these chat settings.
I want to allow everything. Why is there a limit? I mean,
Stand
if
by.
we can say it, if we could say it on the job site, we should be able to say it
Shield
on the chat.
mode. Shield mode. Channel modes.
Yeah, you're right. You're out of my pay grade now. He's got all controls over
Chat
there.
chat appearance. Chat highlights. I don't see anything about letting Chris swear. Well, I'll figure it out on the next one. Promise.
That's awesome.
The last one in, first one. Last one in, first one out. I like going
Right.
in last because then I just know where everybody is.
Sometimes it sucks, but you're right. It is best to go last.
On the last big job that we did, we were first. We were the highest on every floor, which is like when we started, we were like, oh yeah, wicked cool. Then like when you gotta go fix something, or if something's wrong and you gotta get up there and drill a mechanical T, and you're like pinned to the deck above
Yeah.
everybody. And then at the end of the job, man, like we couldn't see, you can't see any of the mains. All those beautiful mains that we have up there that are just braced and labeled perfectly are hidden above ductwork. You know,
Yeah.
they're like,
Oh,
And
did
then
you
if you
brace
gotta
it?
go
Did you?
out ahead, you gotta get up there again,
You
right? It
gotta get
sucks.
up there. Yep. I was finding myself having to go up there and take pictures of the seismic and the beautiful labels to prove that it was there because you couldn't see it because of the ductwork. We should
You guys
always
don't
be
do a
first.
lot of seismic stuff?
What is it?
You do a lot of seismic down there?
Yeah, all of it.
we don't.
So much seismic. A new thing that just came out with seismic for us is that they're real big with sleeves too. Like they don't want us coring the stairwells anymore. They don't want us coring on the floors. They want the sleeve put in pre-pour, pre-rebar. Then you can't cut the pan till after, and you basically place it there, and then they rebar around it, and then they wire mesh around it, and then they pour the concrete. And then you come in later and you sawzall the pan out of the hole.
Gee,
The sleeve has to stick up above the slab 2 inches in case there's a flood on the floor. It won't go down the hole.
Ah,
The friction clamps for the standpipes can't sit on the fucking sleeve. So then you got to build floor stands for every friction clamp on every landing. So picture I got 4 trunks of 8 inch, and then a 4 inch standpipe drain, and then a 6 inch fire department hose. And you usually would just have the friction clamp sitting on the ground, right? Any standpipe you see, the friction clamp's on the ground on the stairwell. It's holding the standpipe up. And then they started doing the sleeve thing. We would put the friction clamps on the sleeve. I guess the sleeve was pushing the pan down. So we had to go and I had to drill these little 3-inch stands for every friction clamp on every standpipe. The plumbers had to do it too. On
Wow.
every one of their drains and anything going through the floor. That was one of the new things that we're doing. Like, and that's like regarding to seismic.
So BC says he has to do it every 40, 80 feet.
40, 80. Yep, that's the same for us too.
Mhm.
Yep, for every, like, change of direction, change of
Uh,
elevation, every 40, 80 feet, longitudinal and a lateral.
Yeah, it's really come a long way, man.
it
It
has.
really has.
So Wayne, what do you think the future is? I mean, have you seen any improvements or anything that comes out? I know we're gonna get a big eye opener on Wednesday. I think Wednesday's gonna be a really awesome show to show us some of the new things. But have you seen anything new coming in?
Um, well, just those videos of, well, it's less work for us, but the sensor heads that you see in um, big open areas that pick the fire
And
and
yeah,
then spray
Yes.
down on it.
one head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
head in a big massive room, and it's all on sensors, right? And
So
Are
was that
people using that? I
that's a
thought that
sprinkler
was just
fitter
some
or
kind of
what?
Chinese like.
I'm pretty sure that's where it's coming from. I haven't seen anything here, but I've just seen videos of it, right?
Yeah, me too.
And more of them. So, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, if something's going to put out the fire, although I like our system now,
Right.
BC said it's in Asia.
Asia.
Hmm.
Level 2, your
That's
auto mod settings. Auto mod is off. All right, there you go. Swear away, boys.
Yeah, free reign.
Auto mod's off. You can say whatever the fuck you want in here.
That's the
Look
way it
at you
should be.
guys go.
China. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
China. Yeah,
China.
We've
yeah.
got an hour show on a Monday, baby.
There you
So
go.
yeah, this is pretty cool. Tomorrow we got Big Kev. Wednesday we got Kurt from Victaulic.
Victaulic.
I don't think we have anything for Saturday. We want to do a Saturday show. We kind of do it midday for anyone who, I know this is late for some people, but we're thinking
Yeah.
of the people in the West Coast who are 4 hours behind or 3 hours behind. But we
Yeah, we
could
don't want
fit
to do a
someone
show
in for
when they're at work.
Saturday at like 2 or 3 or whatever works for you. We're flexible on Saturdays. If you want it, someone could take it. Wednesday we have James from Scotland. Um,
Nice.
and that
Yeah,
one's gonna be
that's
cool.
cool.
Fitter and engineer. We can't wait to hear from James from Scotland. We're also gonna
I think,
try to lock down like a fitter chick. We want a
yeah,
woman in the industry.
so I think she's gonna come in on Monday or Tuesday. She's gonna try to come in after school. She might be on in the car headed home. We're working on it. So I've been talking to her, and she's gonna come on. We'll figure it out.
Because that's a rare thing. That's like, I forget what it is, like 5% or maybe even less
Yeah,
women in the
We
industry.
have a few. We have a few. Couple are in this magazine. Yeah.
They
I've
can do
only
really good, man. I've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some successful fitter chicks.
Oh, yeah. That's what I got to show you guys too. Look at
Oh, is
that.
that like a little chamber where you set the heads off?
Yeah, where they set the heads off. I think you guys have seen the video there
That's
of
wicked cool.
the guy trying to get the half-inch ball valve in there.
Oh yeah, the slam valve. That's where that's
Yeah,
from.
slam valve. That's what you guys call it.
The
Yeah,
slam valve. Yep.
yeah,
Half
yeah.
inch nipple with a half inch ball valve.
That'll save your life.
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
I got a few of them. I literally carry a few of them just in case.
Do you have a O5 or a O4 on both sides
No, I'm just a
of the ball valve?
one nipple guy.
No, I go
One of
both.
them I have a
I
hose.
figure
One
it's
of them I have
better.
half by hose in the backside of the ball
Uh,
valve, case I wanna hook a hose to it. And then the other one I just have. I got a shorty, like an O2 with a valve, and then I got O6 with a valve. You never know.
okay. So I go like 06, 06. So it's long. I figured I could just kind of, get in there faster.
Don't do that. Hand motion like that again.
Yeah.
Oh shit valve. That's another one. Yep.
Oh shit valve. Yeah,
Rocket Man
yeah,
created
definitely.
it. Oh
The
shit
Rocket Man.
valve. LOL shit. Teague.
I mentioned Monica today. They're like, "What? Monica.
Oh, I got a message about Monica. He said
Yeah,
he said he got a shop vac version. Shit, let me pull it up.
I
One
was
guy
talking
said,
about using that shop vac today.
yeah,
You
and
gotta take a picture of Monica.
I have
'Cause I don't
I
think a
have
lot of people do
videos, but it's yeah, it's not good. So he says, I wanted to let you know, you guys, we use the vacuum brand shop vac, which has a built-in pump that does not lose suction and discharges the water when it's near full. And I was like, what's the brand? And he said the brand is shop vac. We also have the drop master for larger.
Hmm.
That's so it's clutch. Especially like if you said you
Yeah,
go in like one of them high profile apartments or condos or whatever, you need a vacuum, dude. I would pull ahead in the hallway so I'm not in someone's like kitchen.
Right.
Like
no, I think
get a
that's
little
great.
water in the corridor or whatever and pull the head in the corridor and hook the vacuum up, put your nipple job in that and then hook the vacuum up to that.
Yeah, I know. I love that, and I think when we get to replacing sprinkler heads in those high end places, I think I'm gonna definitely recommend the company purchasing those for us. And once I recommend that, and then if they shoot it down, then that's kind of their fault. If
For
I
Right.
make a
sure.
mess. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I would try to on both ends of the if they just get you a cheap vacuum, I would try to reduce both ends of it to a garden hose.
Mm,
Because like you're not gonna, I mean, you're only gonna go so far with a shop vac hose.
that's
Right.
true.
Try to get a garden hose coming out of both ends of that thing.
I liked what you said about the cardboard too. When you pull the head, stick the cardboard up there.
It works great,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
awesome.
just holds itself up there, and it only loses, and it
Yeah.
will keep the suction for the next guy. But
Yeah.
you really just should have a plug, half-inch plug or a 1-inch plug, and you just boop. You don't even have to tighten it. It will just suction itself there.
Yeah. That's just awesome. Something you
Uh,
don't think about, but just works perfect, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and
especially
then that's another reason why we have this show to share those things that we've learned over the years.
transfer pump. No, so we're talking about like a vacuum. So DropMaster makes a sprinkler vac that specializes in it, but you can use a regular old shop vac and you create negative pressure within the system. And if you've ever drained a system quick and you're the one that gets to pull that first head, you usually
Yeah.
can feel a little bit of that suction.
Yeah.
Um, I'm always banking on that suction, especially like when I did that Friday shutdown on the ninth floor. Let it drain quick, and but you gotta try to pull that head while it's still draining and it still has that siphon going. Because if you just let it all drain, then you won't have it. It's a fine
Right.
little
Mhm.
medium you gotta find there,
Yeah.
but it's a great tool.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on,
we're
Wayne. We
probably
really appreciate you. I
coming
would
up
love to
over an
have you
hour.
on. Yeah, I'd love to have you back on.
Right on, guys. And I can tell you a few more things. I got a couple stories. I got a couple
I'm
stories
sure
to
you
get.
I'm
do.
sure you
I'm sure
do.
you
That's
do.
great.
Yeah.
Wayne from local
Let's set up a
853.
yeah.
This is dope.
Let's do another
Yeah.
show next month.
I'll keep in touch with you guys, and I'll get people on
If
your show for
if you
sure.
know
Well, we
anybody else
really
that wants to
appreciate it.
come
Thank
on,
you.
listen,
Thank
we
you.
want to talk to them. Someone with a story, or everybody's got a different story and a different path.
I
Yeah.
better not tell any of my apprentices to come on here, though, right?
Yeah, no, we'll do an apprentice show. I can understand it's probably intimidating for an apprentice, especially like if your foreman gets a hold of it, you'd be fucked. But
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
we do now. It's called the Evolve Committee. So we're getting the younger under 35 apprentices involved, so that they have a place where they feel comfortable to talk. Instead of
that's
the
great.
old guy barking at them. And
Well, that's what you
a
see on
lot of good,
Facebook.
yeah, a lot of good things came out of that.
That's
A lot of
awesome.
good.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's what the Discord's for. It's a friendly spot for you to ask dumb questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ask away. Teague's drinking Mick Ultras and he'll answer the question all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he'd be a good guy to go to the bar with, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like a good time.
Keep on pace with
Teague,
him. Have a good night,
we're
wouldn't
gonna
he?
It,
talk to Foreman Teague.
yeah.
We had Fun
Yeah.
Guy Teague. We're gonna talk to Foreman Teague next.
Uh-oh.
All right, so this has been awesome. We
Right
appreciate
on,
everyone
guys.
watching and chatting, and we appreciate Wayne for your time.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
This was great. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 back on the Dope and